Sarah, Sarai, same person. I keep reiterating that because I will always refer to them as Abraham and Sarah, but in some of the scriptures we'll go over, it's Abram and Sarai. And I want to make sure we all know. Okay. At the very beginning of Abraham's story, in chapter 12, which Martha just read for us, thank you, there is the promise of Isaac. Isaac is not named, but the beginning of Abraham's legacy is his call. Immediately after God tells Abraham to leave the land which God would show him, God makes a promise to Abraham. He says, I will make you into a great nation. Well, this implies the need for an heir. This is also a promise that Abraham will not have to suffer the loss of his people because he followed God and left his father's home. God calls Abraham out to stand apart even from his own family in order to fulfill the destiny God has for him. Now, other stories in the Bible, such as the story of Jesus and Joseph that we studied right before Christmas, show that a spiritual lineage is actually more important than a genetic lineage. But in this story, God is telling Abraham that out of him, meaning Abraham's personhood, God will build a great nation. And this is hard to do without a genetic lineage. In both chapter 13 and chapter 14, God continues to remind Abraham of his promise. In chapter 13, God compares Abraham's descendants to the dust of the earth. God says, so that if anyone could count the dust, then your offspring could be counted. Dust. Ever tried to count dust? Ever dusted your home and tried to count it? I mean, that's pretty intense. That's a lot. Again, it's a big promise to make to an older, childless man. And then again in chapter 14, God shows up to Abraham when Abraham's having a moment of doubt and reassures him that the promise is still real. This time, God tells Abraham his descendants will be like the stars. He doesn't say that Abraham's descendants will be as many as the stars. He says they will be like the stars. And that's an interesting distinction, because before we go any further, I want to talk about stars. Did you know that when you look at the night sky, what you're seeing is not really what is there? Hang with me, it's true. It takes so many thousands of years for light to reach this planet that when we look at the night sky, we see stars, some of which don't even exist anymore. Many of them still exist, but many of them have died and we don't even know it yet. They're gone, but we still see them. Also, the light from the newly born stars hasn't even reached Earth yet, and won't for thousands of years. So when we look at the night sky, what we see is not really what is there. It's very much how it is we're waiting on a promise from God. We see a small glimpse of reality play out in our life, but we can't see the things God has put in place thousands of years ago that came before us to bring us to this point. And we can't see the things God is bringing into creation now that hasn't even crossed our paths yet. So what we see in our day-to-day life is not really what is there. This is where faith comes in. And to his credit, through all of this, Abraham waits. As Martha read for us today, he waits for more than 10 years. It is more than 10 years before the angels visit Abraham and Sarah and tell Sarah that she will have a son the next year when they visit again. In the meantime, both Sarah and Abraham wait. And wait. And wait. For more than 10 years. The last 2 weeks, we've talked about Abraham's flaws and the flaws he passed down to Lot. But here, we see a man whose patience is being tested every minute of every day, and yet he believes God. He denies what his eyes tell him, and he believes God. That faith, the faith that Abraham has to believe something really crazy and completely against the natural order of things, is credited to Abraham as righteousness, as right standing with God. At some point during this time, Sarah has an idea that truthfully is not that unusual for how unusual this marriage is. She decides that since God has promised Abraham a son of his own flesh and blood, and since she can't give him the son, she will give Abraham another wife. I see the practicality in her logic, but God did not tell Abraham to change anything. God told Abraham that he would have a child. He did not tell Abraham, you will bring into your household another wife, and she will bear you a son because you allowed Sarah to be married to another man. All God said was that Abraham would have an heir. But Sarah gives her servant to Hagar. Sarah gives her servant Hagar to Abraham. Hagar becomes his wife, and she conceives Ishmael. We will talk more about Hagar and Ishmael another week. But after Ishmael is born, God tells Abraham that Ishmael is not the son of promise, that Sarah will be the mother of the promise. Clearly, God does not fault Sarah for Abraham giving her over to Pharaoh. God cherishes Sarah and raises her up out of a situation in which she is essentially a piece of legal property to be given to anyone that Abraham sees fit. And he makes her the mother of a holy nation. You all know I love definitions. I like to make sure that we all have the same definitions for the words we use so that God's point is not lost in translation. Miracles by definition are not miracles unless they go against the natural order of things. We serve a God of miracles, and frankly, if we expect anything less, we are wasting our time on Sunday mornings. Abraham could have been wasting his time. Now let's be honest. If there had been no child, if Isaac had never been born, we'd not be talking about Abraham, the great man of faith. No, Abraham was sitting around having visions and promises and building his life on these promises made by a voice nobody else could hear. We'd be talking about Abraham, the crazy cousin nobody talked about. But there in fact is this child, Isaac, a historic figure, who would become the father of Jacob and Esau. And from Jacob would come all 12 tribes of Israel. So Abraham and Sarah were justified in this crazy belief that there would be a birth of a child in their old age. Hebrews chapter 11 credits Sarah with the faith, stating that she reasoned that the one who made the promise was faithful. Based on the circumstances of their lives, what they could see with their eyes, and reason with their minds, there was no reason to believe this child would be born. There was no evidence of it in their daily life. But God gave them the wisdom to know that just like with the night sky, what you see is not always what is there. Don't be afraid of the promises God made to you. Some of you have had visions during your life. It's possible you've experienced them and had no intention of sharing them with anyone else. That's fine. Well, I would love it if someone said they have one. That's your decision. Others of you may have what people refer to as a gut feeling about something in your life that shows up over and over again when you pray, when you take time to meditate on Scripture, when you're looking for solutions to problems. That's your word from God, and you know it. It's a guiding word that comes to you anytime you need spiritual help. Some of you may have a specific knowing of a promise that God has made to you. Perhaps you didn't hear an audible voice, but you experienced something that you know is God. We've all waited for some type of promise. As a child, do you remember how long it took Christmas to get here? It was excruciating. We could count the minutes. Perhaps, as adults, our waiting for promises is even harder than that. Perhaps you're single and you believe that God has promised you a spouse or a companion. Each day that passes and that person is not around hurts you. Perhaps you're counting the days to retirement. You've put in your time, you've provided for your family, and all you can do is hold on each day with the hope that the company doesn't institute policies that make your life too difficult between now and then. Perhaps your coming promises the return of a wayward child. You know the promise of Scripture that if you bring up a child the way they should go, they will not neglect it when they are old. But each day that the phone doesn't ring is painful. Waiting for these promises is just as hard as waiting for Christmas was when we were children. Probably harder, because Christmas was just about us getting something. But these promises that we wait for as adults, they affect people we love. This is the type of waiting Moses was doing when God showed up and told him not to fear. The promise hasn't changed. I'm still here. I haven't forgotten. The scripture states that after God spoke to Abraham, Abraham believed him. Abraham was encouraged by the voice of God, and it was credited him as righteousness, right standing in the presence of God. If you see yourself in this story, wait for the promise. Look at your life and see the night sky. Know that there is much more going on than you can see with your eyes or reason with your mind. God has already gotten rid of obstacles that you don't even see removed yet. And God has already brought forth the birth of promises, but the vision hasn't reached you yet. Do not do what Abraham and Sarah did. Do not trade in the promise for the easier way out. I shouldn't even call it the easier way out. I should call it the more logical way out. Because it makes sense for us to take these steps and just get things done. But just as in the case with Ishmael, what you create on your own will not be the fulfillment of the promise. Because we are not God. Our version of events won't be miraculous. If God has made you a promise, He will be faithful to deliver that promise, even if it's crazy. Allow your belief to be credited to you as righteousness. Look into the night sky and have peace. Amen.